On February 24th, 2013, this is social lesson number 6, Raising Partners Major to Game continued. Green Bridge friends, Michael here, Bridge Hands, and welcome you to another session. We're going to take a look at some more hands, another 4 on Raising Partners Major. Now, as we spoke about in previous lessons, we talked about the perils when we do have a fit with partner in the heart suit, and instead we bid the spade suit first. This is when the opponents have bad distribution against us in the minors. But how about when they have bad distribution against us in the actual trump suit? That's going to be our lesson today. First, let's do just a quick review and take a look at some of the things we spoke about on major suit games. First off, we talked about the fact that we needed to have 25 points or more to make a game, to make our 10 tricks. We need to have 2 medium hands. Now, mind you, we don't want to bid with 10-point opener, but if we have about 3 points more, about a king more, 13 points plus or minus 1, that's enough to open. If we go up in an increment of 3, 16 points, 15 to 17, we have a medium hand. We're interested in making another bid. If we have 3 more points, about 19 points or so, and our partner's responded, well, then we think we have enough points for game, because our partner, on the other hand, with about 6 to 9 or maybe a bad 10 points, they'll make the lowest response bid, supporting our major suit. 1 heart, 2 hearts, 1 spade, 2 spades. When they have about a king more, when they have about 11 points, then they're going to make an invitational jump bid. 1 heart, 3 hearts, 1 spade, 3 spades. And with a maximum hand, well, when we have 25 points or more, we know we have enough for game. Next, we need to have a fit. We can have a 5-3 fit. We, as the opener, open with a 5 card or longer major suit. Our partner has 3 or more, the golden fit with 8 or more. And when we have a 9 card fit, good, that's worth an extra trick. Okay, then we talked a little bit about losing trick count on previous hands. We won't go into that so much in this hand. In this hand, we have pretty much, we're going to take a look at some other factors, but we will touch on it briefly during the play of the hands. But the idea is when we have a more shapely hand, then we're likely to get more tricks. That is, as opener, we can promote a side suit better with a 5-5-2-1 shape or a 5-4-3-1 shape or a 5-4-2-2 shape than a 5-3-3-2, which is a flatter hand where we have a 5-card major and everything else is fairly even. The losing trick count then helps us to get those extra tricks by using a better hand evaluation method than our high card points. Okay, also we're going to take a look at some of these bad shapes we spoke about today. Now, normally when we have an 8 card fit, the opponents are 3-2 against us. That happens 2 out of 3 times, 68% of the time. Although they could be 4-1 against us, 1-4, or 28%. And how about when we have a glorious 9 card fit? Well, they're only 2-2 40% of the time, which means they're 3-1 50% of the time. And they could be 4-0, more on that today, 10% of the time. So we're going to be on the lookout on that, and we're going to want to think about some safety plays. We're going to want to think about situations where when we have these bad distributions against us, some things we can do to take extra tricks. Okay, without further ado, let's head for the table. Okay, before we take a look at our first hand, let's do just a recap of one of our first hands we had from our previous session. And that was where we had bad shape against us. Bad shape in their suits. Then we'll take a look at bad shape in our trump suit. Okay, so we had opened 1 heart in the south hand with a 6-4-2-1 shape. Pass over in north, our partner has a 5-4-4 shape, but rather than support our heart suit, they even have 4. We have a 9 card fit. They thought, well, maybe they look for a double fit by bidding 1 spade, and that allowed East to easily get in. They could maybe bid 3 clubs or 4 clubs. We in South have a nice hand. We go ahead and support our partner's spade suit, thinking there's 4-4. We bid 4 spades, but then over in West, as the story goes, outside ace of hearts, 4 clubs, goes to 5 clubs, especially if it was favorable vulnerability. North now says, well, geez, I guess I should have bid hearts first. Why didn't I maybe do a jump bid in hearts earlier to invite? And now they go 5 hearts. and with good defense, it goes down. So that wasn't so good. But we're not going to look at that where they have a bad distribution against us in their suits. Instead, we're going to take a look at where there's bad distribution against us in our trump suit. And we saw the probabilities. It doesn't happen that often, but it can happen. So we want to have some offenses we can take to prevent that from happening by the defenders. So, okay, in this case, in South, we have a 5-3-3-2, but we have a good hand. Ace, 10-9, 5 times in hearts. King, doubleton in spades. Ace, queen 3 times in diamonds. And king, queen 3 times in clubs. So that's about a 18-point hand with a ace, 10-9, 5 times in hearts. Over to the West End, well, no hearts at all. 6-4-3-0. No points, they'll pass. To North, this time they have 4-4 in the majors, and it is king 4 times in hearts, queen jack 4 times in spades, nice, working honors, king 3 times in diamonds, primary honors, good, and a jack doubleton 8 in clubs. 3-card side suits I don't like to the jack, certainly don't like doubleton. So at any rate, it's a nice hand though. It's 3 points for hearts, another 3 for the spades, another 3 for the diamonds, that's 9, and 1 for the distribution. Even if you had a 3-card suit, with a 4-card suit, I think it's worth 1 more. Definitely a strong invitation, 3 hearts. Over in the East Hand, well, they have a 4-4-3-2, 11 points, 2 aces in the black suits, and a queen, jack, 4 times in the heart suit. Interesting. They're passing. Happy to just see how this develops. Well, even if we had heard 2 hearts with this 18-pointer, it's a pretty nice 18er, isn't it? Our losing trick count would have been 2 hearts, 1 spade, that's 3, 1 diamond is 4, and 1 club is 5. We probably would have even accepted with this 18-point with these values, with our partner having 2 cover cards. We have 5 losers. If our partner has 2 covers, that gets us down to 3 losers, makes 10 tricks, makes a game. Okay, well, in this case, since our partner invited with about 3 cover cards, we'll definitely go for hearts, but not beyond. So 4 hearts is the contract, and the opening lead by West, well, it would probably be a top of nothing in spades. They didn't invite slam, which means, our partner maybe has some good juice in their hand since we have nothing over here other than a jack and a 10. So lead maybe the top of nothing in spades, a side suit. And we in the South already feel uncomfortable about that suit because if we have 5 and they're leading it, then, okay, we're going to want to pull trump pretty soon. Well, they take the ace of spades and they look at the dummy. They see that they've got doubleton club and the dummy also has doubleton club, but they can maybe do some over roughing with these hearts. So if they rough in the dummy, that's good. We can over rough there. So looks like we've got 1 trick, an ace of clubs and a couple hearts. Looks like we might be able to set them. Let's see how this turns out. So we might play an ace of clubs and another, I believe, especially even though it's an unprotected ace, is that when you've got lefty is the declare, they'll probably get those tricks anyway. So, okay, ace of clubs, and unfortunately partner over in the West did not signal encouragement. But with nothing better to do and knowing partner probably doesn't have many points anyway, since we see all of them in North-South, or at least we know North does and South has pretty good hand. So we let them win it. They win with the queen. Okay, our partner didn't have the queen, and he's showing that he has the king in South, which is not a great idea. I'd play the king of clubs instead. Okay, so it's time to play hearts. Now, a lot of people will just indiscriminately say, well, okay, I've got no losers in diamonds, I've got 1 loser in spades, I got 1 loser in hearts, but what if the distribution is bad? Well, then you better take a look at those spot cards with your honors. And we're missing, in this case, we've got the 10-9-8 of hearts, but we're missing the queen and the jack. In this lesson, we'll take a look at different treatments of where the queen and jack might be and how that might affect our ability to make game, or when we don't have great play, how we might consider some end play strategies, as we'll see here. Okay, so we play the ace of hearts. Well, what if it's 4-0? Wouldn't you want to play a low heart maybe up to the king? At any rate, okay, ace was played, and we see a show out, so we know it's 4-0. We've got queen jack 4 times against us, so, well, if they're in the righty side, we might be able to do some finessing to help a little bit, but we said that we've got lost one loser in clubs, got one loser in spades. Diamond looks okay if it doesn't get roughed, but the heart suit, we could lose 2 tricks now, couldn't we? Unless, don't give up hope, there is a play we can use. Okay, so that didn't work well by starting with the ace of hearts. Maybe we can recover somehow. So we'll go ahead and play ace of diamonds, king of diamonds. Yes, they may rough, but this is our only possibility. And we can go ahead and play our king of spades. And only thing we can possibly do is hope that the diamonds were 3-3. So we'll play a diamond up to the king. Thank goodness that held. We can go ahead and play those top 2 spades now and pitch that king of clubs. Okay, that's fine. And now we can play another spade. We're going to have to rough in anyway. Play a spade, and we win it with the heart. The king queen's against us. So if we play a low heart up to the king, then they get the queen jack. But if we play a heart to the 8 or the 10 to the low, whichever, we let them win, and no matter what they come back in, the jack or the 7, they're going to finesse themselves. They are end played, right? So if they want to come up with a queen, we win with the king, and then the 8 and 9 are above the 7, or vice versa. So it turned out our first play of the hearts wasn't quite so great, was it there? When we got in a low heart to maybe the 8, actually, we'll take a look at that later. But in this case, we started with the ace, then we had to just hope for the end play, as we saw later. So we were fortunate that the diamonds did split 3-3. That's a 36% chance, by the way. And once that happened, then we were fortunately able to get this end play situation from East. Okay, so on our second hand, everybody has the same cards exactly, and the bidding once again goes to 4 hearts, the opening lead. Still is going to be the 9 of spades, winning with the ace, ace of clubs back, coming back with the 9 of clubs. We went with the queen, and this time, rather than starting with the ace of hearts, we play a low heart, and a little better play, goes up to the king, and we see immediately that it's a 4-0 against us. Well, okay, rather than starting with our top honor, we started with a low card, and we're able to see, fortunately, that they fell 4-0 with the east hand. So now we can do a finesse strategy. So we can come back with a heart, and if they go up with a queen, fine. If not, if they play low, we win with the 9. All right. We then play our ace of hearts, and they're left with a single heart. And as you may recall from previous lessons, we talked about the rule of 1. When they have 1 against us, rather than use 2 of our trumps against 1 of theirs, let them take it when they want to, as long as it doesn't disrupt our transportation, normally to the dummy, and that's the case here. So, okay, we play our king of spades, a low diamond to the king, play another spade, pitch our club, fine, spade, go ahead and put our queen of diamonds on, come back with a diamond, and finally we play a heart. They win it with a queen, and we have our 10th trick. So we have a safe contract here. So in this case, think a little bit better play tactic by, if they do have 4-0, which yes, it doesn't come up at 10% of the time, but it will from time to time. So playing a low heart up to the king, and we got to see where they were out. Okay, let's take a look at when is 4-0 on the other side. Things are going to get interesting now. Well, all right, let's try our third hand in the series, and once again, north-south, same hands, different distribution for east-west. Okay, we opened 1 heart. You recall it went 3 hearts, 4 hearts. In this case, now it is east with the heart void. They still have their 2 aces, and in west, they now have the queen, jack 4 times in hearts and don't have that long club suit. All right, so on a 4 heart contract, this time the lead could be a 9 of spades or maybe the 8 of clubs. It looks like it's a top club. Goes to the ace over in the east hand. And they see the club doubleton and the dummy, they probably don't want to come back in that suit. This does not look like it's a fourth best lead, does it? When we've got ace 10 4 times in clubs. So maybe next to top in the diamond suit, perhaps. Not a great lead, but maybe next to top of nothing in the diamond suit. They win with the ace, all right, and now it's your turn for declare play. And oh, by the way, it looks like they're all loser plays, so it looks like north-south can have a winning line of play, but rather than take a look at that right now, let's go ahead and have a little suspense and see what this south does next. Well, they play that low heart up to the king, and that wins, but they see that east shows out. So it's now queen jack 4 times to the left, and that doesn't look so good when you've only got ace 10 9. You don't really have much chance for a end play here. Okay, so you can play another heart up to the ace, but now they've got the queen, and the jack of hearts will give them 1. But they go ahead and play another heart, flush us out of hearts ourselves. Okay, they play the spade over to the ace over in the east town, and okay, east-west has 4 tricks, so north-south, you're down 1. Okay, let's take a look at the 4th hand of the series and see where we went wrong. Okay, in our final hand in the series, we have, once again, same north-south hands, 1 heart, 3 hearts, 4 hearts, and the opening lead is going to be that top club. And once again, won by the ace, they go ahead and come back in a next top of nothing in diamonds. Could have been a club just as likely, but the doubles and club and the dummy, maybe not. So, okay, won by the south, the ace of diamonds. And this time we're going to take a look at the winning play. And I bet you've discovered it, and that is when we play a heart, we play to our 8 of hearts. Now, I know that probably doesn't seem right but when they're 4-0 against you, and if you do think this out, if it's 4-0 against you in the east, as we saw, if we played our ace, we got lucky with an end play. That is because there were 3-3 in diamonds. We were better to play a low heart to the king, and then we were able to finesse if it was on that side. But if it's on the other side, over in the west, it doesn't work so well. We have to play one of our intermediates to the intermediate on the other side, or low to an intermediate, and so we played a 4 of hearts up to the 8, just in case it was queen jack 4-0 against you. Now, if it's not and they win one, fine, then you just take the ace and the king the next trick. But as you can see, this was the only winning line of play when it's 4-0 against you. If you had played the king or started with the ace, sorry, not so good there, unless you're playing that low finesse sooner or later. So, okay, I hope you see that opportunity. When you are missing a couple intermediates, in this case, secondary honors, and you do have the intermediates after that, you need to take a look at these different combinations. At this point now, you can play the ace of hearts, a low heart, finesse once again, the rule of 1. You can go ahead and start taking your tricks in the side suits. When they finally want to take that queen of hearts, fine, they've got it. They get their 3rd trick, but that's all they are going to get. Okay, bridge friends, I hope you enjoyed those hands today. Those were rather interesting situations with that 4-0 against us. Now, when we have a 9-card fit, we're very happy. When we have the ace, king, queen, great. We don't have to worry about these bad breaks. We just can start peeling off our top trump. Although in this situation, we had where we were missing the queen, jack 4 times. Good news, we did have the intermediates, 10, 9, 8s, and so forth. So the situation turned out where when they were 4-0 against us, and that was that 10% of the time it happens, but it will 1 in 10, right? So be a hero for your partner and kind of think about that ahead of time. We saw that when we had the ace and the king, and then the intermediates, if we were able to play a low to the king, if they were 4-0 against us in the east, we were then able to at least finesse them, weren't we? Get them down to 1, don't worry about the suit, just go about our business. Let them have that singleton high honor when they want it. On the other hand, when we started with the ace, and they were 4-0 with 4 being in the east, then we had the different place we had to play. We had to go for the end play. Hope they were 3-3 and diamonds. Eventually, when they got in at the end of the game, they had one top honor and one lower honor, and when they played one of them or the other, they finessed them. In both cases, we had a higher honor in the dummy. But when they were 4-0 in the west hand, wasn't quite such a pretty picture, was it? So in that case, we learned the best way to play, and that was to play a low to an intermediate. And if they were 4-0, well, we did a deep finesse, didn't we? We did something beneath that queen jack that was held 4-0 by the west hand. So something to think about when you start just playing your cards quickly. Sometimes you get these bad breaks and you say, oh, if I only thought about it. So it's easy for us to get lax in these situations, but the thinking bridge player will be prepared for that rainy day. So I hope you enjoyed the session here today, and as always, we enjoy you coming over to Bridge Hands and your support. Have a great day playing bridge, and as always, we look forward to seeing you again. Happy trails to you. Bye now.